Origin were playing with full information. We'll have to see if these teams have fixed that vision game, because both of them actually mastered pretty well. SKT has really just map control, and EDG, for me, are the masters of abusing Fog of War. So maybe if the game goes a little more even, stale into the mid game, we could see that come out from Edward Gaming.
That's right, but we are into Champion Select, everybody. We do have Rek'Sai banned away first up here from SKT, and Edward Gaming have taken away the Mordekaiser. I'm a little bit personally sad about that. Annie, though, banned away from Mako there as well.
Well, Mako is incredibly good at the champion, so, and that's the thing is SKT, when they're not on red side, they will almost never ban these, like, air quote OP champions, the big power picks that everyone cares about, right? You see, like, the 87% Gangplank and Mordekaiser bans. Those are traditionally red side bans. EDG just kind of playing their part instead of trading these picks back and forth, as many teams often do with, like, the old power picks. It feels like right now at Worlds, those champions keep showing up on the red side bans, and it's hamstringing EDG's choices here.
Yeah, and if we look at this as well, it's the fact that Rek'Sai is the first ban away here, and it was first picked by SKT when they had the opportunity to last time around. The Kalista was the first pick from EDG, but now once again, Rek'Sai denied from Clearlove, and he's just a fantastic Rek'Sai player, and see whether he can make anything else happen on a different champion.
Yeah, EDG ban out of Zero, that means Kalista, Elise are open. You're thinking of Darius too. Obviously, with the one-game sample size, that was the game last week, SKT T1 has no rush to pick that Darius up as a champion, and they can just wait, whereas EDG, they might be not inclined to pick it up at all because they're afraid of their next counter pick.
And I don't expect to see them pick their support right now either. Last time we saw these teams, there was an early Alistar ban, which then meant an early Braum pick, and that was they're trying to pinch champions this way, but instead, it's interesting they're going somewhere entirely different with it.
They could go for, Edward Gaming here could go for an early AD carry support pick, more so to just secure the support they prefer. Obviously, there's no pressure on the jungle pick. They still get to reveal one more pick later on if the lanes want to hide their picks too. They do end up going for Gragas here. Just a generic jungle pick, really. You could fit that into any position.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether I like that. I just want to see Clearlove play Lee Sin again. His KDA on the champion is unbelievable. This guy is a fantastic Lee Sin player, and we've seen this patch has been a little bit nicer to the guy, but Bengi is going to bit of a no-brainer lock in the Darius here.
Well, that's the thing is, again, SKT actually, I don't believe they've played it themselves. They're happy to let other teams go for it and counterpick themselves. We see so many teams hover a champion just to try to make you pick it. To be like, remember this guy? Remember how good Tom Kench is? You want to play that champion yourselves? And again, we're seeing SKT hover and then switch champions, right? There's the Tristana lock-in. I think we're doing a brief call-out to his Tom Kench AP mid-game from earlier.
Of course, yeah.
But there is the Darius after all.
Yeah, touching back on the Gragas pick, I do like it in the sense that it gives you a well-scaling tank that still has early pressure. In addition to then getting a tanky support that can play even more upfront due to Fate's Call, that easily opens you up for a triple threat composition. You can go really for split push oriented or just triple carries because your front line is already kind of taken care of. Even if you go for a mildly less tanky support like Thresh, having Fate's Call, being able to reposition your support is so valuable in terms of peeling, even engages. So I really like the composition set up for Edward Gaming, and they can still go in any direction. Gnar can still opt into very split push heavy builds, or later on into very just, teamfight centric builds too. Yeah,
and the catch comp once again. It seems like Faker has the idea of, I really want a Rune Prison for a Kalista, so I can just lock her down, we can exploit her in that moment and take her off the board. It was a fantastic way that they dealt with it last time around, and Trundle would be interesting. Yeah,
well, we'll see. I do really like what happened with the Ryze versus Kalista. It did work very well for SKT the first time around. That was the matchup they got for themselves. But EDG, I think, have done a very good job in Champ Select right here. Before, they lost both their solo lanes to SK Telecom T1. They lost the Darius Rek'Sai matchup, or Renekton matchup, and they lost the Echo versus Ryze matchup. Now, EDG gets to last pick, or basically counterpick both their solo lanes. Now it's Gnar and the Darius, and it's last pick for Pawn. EDG should have a much better laning phase now.
There are dissenting opinions whether Tristana Morgana beats Kalista Thresh or not. I think it's a skill matchup in essence, but if they play equal, I think Kalista and Thresh actually have the early trade advantage. So that would mean that SKT T1 is definitely looking for a lane swap, since Gnar absolutely bullies out Darius in lane. So we have the counter pick in mid lane right now here. We'll have to see what Pawn ends up locking in, but overall, this is very likely looking that SKT T1 wants to engage a lane swap.
Well, they do. Yasuo is currently the hover here for Pawn, of course. Definitely one of his, it's a Pawn flavor champion, but it's probably not great into the old Ryze. But this is definitely a signature pick. If it's the Twisted Fate, that would make some sense.
And this would be very good for the lane matchup itself. Great gank synergy, targeted stun, come with a Gragas afterwards, as well as getting around the map and setting up all these picks. Yeah. We've seen so many good TFs at Worlds so far. I love seeing the champion. There it is.
In addition to the 1v1, it is actually pretty passive because Ryze really can't punish the TF. TF has really good spacing in lane, stands at a distance, farms safely. When Ryze goes in for the chain combo, it will get broken with a gold card. TF can simply walk away in that sense. So Edward Gaming are locking in for a very pick-heavy composition. 1-3-1 is what they want to be looking for later on. I'm not sure if they actually move the TF to the bottom lane or not. Relatively low on wave clear if TF is out of the equation, but really good matchups. 1v1 Gnar into Darius, the 2v2 with Fate's Call, TF ulti in, can make so many plays. So Edward Gaming, they want to play the map.
Yeah, and if EDG get ahead, that comp's going to look really good. Meanwhile, you look at SKT with their lead. You mentioned low wave clear without TF. Tristana, a great sieger, of course, but I'm thinking about the Elise pick here because she's a good early game jungler, but eventually gets outscaled by Gragas in terms of team fight power and tankiness, and I don't see many of these lanes being gankable. You've got a Thresh Lantern, TF playing back, Gnar can hop away. I'm not sure we're going to see anything happen from banking.
Yeah, I think what SKT is looking for, early team fights around objectives or early groups or sieges. When you group up and you know where TF is going to aim his cards at, throw a binding, throw a cocoon, anything sticks, immediately that target gets blown up. So that's what SKT is looking for. EDG, they don't want that to happen. They want to keep the map open, play on 3 lanes, split push, make picks. So very distinct difference in style. I think it's great to see these teams face off in that manner. Well,
as these teams do face off, you guys at home are always involved. So tweet who's going to win and reign supreme in Group C here. Tweet at LOL Esports with hashtag SKT win or hashtag EDG win for the winner of this game. Guys, we're going to tally up the results, see who wins. But of course, the game itself is about to begin. Here we go, the beginning of the day here at the World Championship, Day 6. If SKT wins right here, they are guaranteed the 3rd spot in the quarterfinals. Edward Gaming, if they win here, they're on pace for a tiebreaker to take 1st place in the group.
Yeah, we are on to the Rift, ladies and gentlemen. SKT, of course, on our blue side this time around. And one thing that I wanted to bring up here, guys, is the fact that, look, the early advantages seem to be something that SKT are fantastic at snowballing out. Spawn brought it up before, the fact that EDG, they like to sit back and sort of control the game and then have a massive team fight. Seems to me like they have a lot more tools this time around to get that done.
Definitely early playmaking is there. Targeted route from Ryze, right? Elise, just the queen of early game jungling. And we've seen how good Morgana supports are with their binding picks. But Ryze is still a late game scaling champion, and there's a bit of a weird mix between the early game and late game here for the composition.
Oh, first
good ward kill.
Did you take a ward? This is one of the few times we've seen red side team invade aggressively. Usually we always see either a camp in the top left quadrant of the map to catch the blue side team invading.
And right now it's actually an early defensive, well, not defensive ward, but in the river actually spots SKT faking an invade, then doing nothing with it, but EDG themselves get revealed, and there's actually no meaningful deep vision for either team.
Now it's a coin flip. Both teams, SKT obviously wants to lane swap, so they want to fake base, maybe like, are we going top or not, and see if EDG buy into that.
But EDG put their dual lane down in the brush in that river, and very few teams, I feel like, actually fake the recall. I think Edward Gaming have tipped their hand because of that one ward in the river.
And they got spotted. This is good for EDG overall in terms of lane matchups. They know exactly what's going to happen now.
And now they're running backwards, spotted again by these wards, and everyone knows Nico and Deft are here by the Gromp, and actually, wow, giving a
super
leash.
Yeah, and Deft actually some auto attacks onto Wolf here as he makes his way back towards the bottom lane, standard lanes.
This could fix the matchup if SKT can keep pushing aggressively on the bottom lane to deny those trades here. Let's see if Bank can get some trades off. Obviously, the explosive charge is what you really want to trade with, but the passive from Kalista with double range is incredibly hard to fight into early.
And Mako didn't land the auto attack onto Banks. There's a big chunk of the health that they would have gotten from the Kalista W passive not triggered there. So the first trade did go SKT's way.
Ooh, Dark Binding is going to miss here as well as Mako. Cheeky auto attack onto Wolf.
Yeah, and you can see, oh, really good play though with the exhaust. Clearlove's coming down.
Yeah, Bang taking a lot of damage. Def still trying to marshal poise around this fight. Clearlove finds his way in the level 2 gank. Reads the flash there from Wolf as well as the barrel comes in, but not going to be enough.
I think that was
released the blue buff.
That was just given away a bit too hard though by Mako going aggressively, but it does fix a problem that EDG had in this bot lane, which was the pushing. Likely we're not going to see too much action right now, so we're going to keep track of Bengi. What's he going to do? Because he has cross-map potential. He actually aggressively invaded, and he can now fix that matchup in the top lane. So maybe this wasn't the best plan from Clearlove.
Well, Clearlove not actually going towards the enemy red buff either. It seems like it could potentially be a 3-buff start here for Bengi, given the opportunity.
Yeah, so they bought that extra sort of buff that they're going to lose eventually by getting +2 summoner spells. Bang lost one, Wolf lost both. So you have to Black Shield a hook or someone's almost definitely going to die in this lane, specifically Wolf. And that's going to be one thing to watch for, though. As you look at the top side of the map, Marin is beating up on Amazing J. Okay, there's 4 minutes left in the lane, but it's already going to Marin.
And obviously that's the value. Marin has minion advantage too, so if Amazing J trades close to his Darius pick, he's going to get out-traded due to minion damage. Marin obviously knows he's safe because the jungler just showed for 30 seconds plus at the bottom side of the map. This means cross-map dive from Bengi.
Yeah, the Cocoon lands here as well as Marin makes his way in. Oh, he's going to flash into the range of the Q, but Bengi trying to get the work done. Amazing J walking around. First blood goes down for Bengi.
And this is a big strategic mistake from SKT, from EDG rather. They leave the opportunity for SKT to make a very simple play, very telegraphed. You see the jungler bottom side of the map, what do? Well, you migrate to the top side of the map. What do you find there? A winning matchup from EDG that now gets tilted in Marin's favor. Marin, one of the best top laning performing players in this championship already, so things about to get rough.
And you already saw, you just put it out a second ago, the mistake from Amazing J. Minion wave advantage, chose to take a trade, got chunked right before the Elise showed up. He even helped himself get ganked there. So great early start for SKT. We look down, we realize the top lane's already winning for SKT, bottom lane currently winning for Edward Gaming. Mid lane matchup very close right now.
Yeah, Pon is going to be backing away at the moment. You can see the vote most definitely in favor of SKT at the moment. Faker unable to stop Pon from getting back home.
And Marin picks up, he had the Thorn Shield already, picks up the early Ninja Tabai, so it's going to get incredibly hard for the Gnar matchup to win in the way it usually does, which is repetitive auto attacks. Bang right now, he's poked out on the bottom though. Wolf takes the hook.
Yeah, Death sends the playback there as well. Lots of damage from that Sentinel.
There was a misplay earlier by Deft. He tried to go for the normal sort of ballistic gameplay pattern of get a stack onto Bang, attack a minion once, then rend and get the reset and the damage. But he actually missed the rend. He didn't kill the minion, so that was on cooldown when they pulled in Wolf, and that was a bunch of damage he missed.
Bengi made his way to the bottom now. He did get spotted, pinged out, but the pressure really to that lane, because 2v2 Wolf and Bang would lose this, because Bengi shows up, he doesn't care if he's seen. All he's gonna do is just push in and reset the wave. Telegraph now wants to come for a gank to maybe 3v3.
Making his way down from that Gromp there as well. You can see it's just a bit of a try lane here for SKT.
I don't think SKT's going to stay around. They're right on pickaxe recall, and Bang being at half health and Wolf still missing his flash means they're going to recall, I believe, just for some health. They're going to get the pickaxe recall, which will match up against basically Vamp Scepter Longsword of Death. Not exactly a huge advantage for the EDG. Oh!
Bang
That's big.
Stopped. That's huge.
That's actually really big. Bang gets a bad recall. Now he's going to miss a full wave because of this.
Yeah, back in the day, bot lanes would actually just take the freeze here. Support freezes, 80 carry bases, and you base one by one. EDG, they really want that tempo, and because they made the decision and they stop Bang and actually come out huge, this wave is equal. If Bang even goes for a single CS, it will automatically push towards EDG's side, so Bang is wasting a lot of time here because he has to respect the brushes. Really smart play here by Deft and Mako.
So Bang intuits that they're actually sitting... they've already recalled, rather.
And now he knows they recall, but he has to push in. The next wave is already coming, so he's behind in tempo. He doesn't even get to punish because there's very few creeps being denied. SKT maybe denied 3 melee creeps from EDG so far, so really fantastic base timing here from Deft and Mako. Could make up for the loss in top lane earlier. Yeah,
so Bang now has to sit at least 2 more waves to get enough money for BF Sword and Potions. This is a full minute. He has to stay in this lane, or that push didn't really do much of anything. The freeze is still going to be for EDG. He does not have 1,500 gold. And that's going to be a rough bottom lane.
Yeah, Rim Prison used here in the mid lane as Faker. Just trying to stop Pon, who's running out of mana just a little bit. But look at that top lane, 45 CS to 18. Amazing J in a lane that theoretically should be able to bully.
Yeah, this is
doing so well.
One of the most proficient counter picks so far in the tournament. Gnar into Darius has always done well, significantly better than the opponent pick, but just doesn't come out here due to the early pathing from Clear Up. That Bengi punished. So we're gonna need to see Pon punish this somehow. Teleport up to the top lane, and quickly, because if you let Darius get too far ahead, he will actually simply 2v1 you, and then the game snowballs out of control.
Well, Gnar is only 5 1/4 level-wise right now. He's got a lot of room to grow till he has that Mega Gnar, but it is for the next minute and a half a flashless Darius up there. So the chance for a gank definitely is a possibility here. And this lane should, I think, push back out with where it's positioned right now.
Marin at the moment just farming this one out. Of course, still a gigantic CS lead for Death in the bottom side of the map. May make up for Amazing J falling so far behind. Faker going to take himself a blue buff. Bengi handing that one over.
I mean, just to illustrate how big that advantage is, Marin right now has earned in the game in total around 2,700 gold. That's 1,000 more than Amazing J has earned in the entire game. So 1,000 gold advantage is, you know, if you hear that, you don't know how big that is, but relatively speaking, that's 2.7k to 1.7k. That is a massive gold advantage. In addition to the fact, as we pointed out just now, Marin is a full level head and more of Amazing J, so that's going to get incredibly rough later on.
Bang actually taking a lot of damage there. The Ren comes through, bang down to about 400.
Mako's playing really far back in this lane. I think he was trying to Lantern in Clear Love, but essentially we just see Deft basically 1v2 the lane for most of the time. And now that Deft is 6, Mako can play as aggressively as he wants and not get punished for it.
Pawn needs to answer this gank in the top lane, or Amazing J's screen is about to go gray again.
That's Meganar. They're going to wait for that timeout. A time's out right now. There comes the push. Minion wave is in. Bengi should be pulling aggro first, just like last time. Going to pull in and go towards Marin. Oh, there's no chance! Oh, man, that took him 2 seconds flat.
Didn't even need the cocoon that time. It was just the apprehend, and that was enough.
Yeah, look at mid lane. Faker is playing passive because he knows his team members are setting up a gank in the top lane. All he needs to do is survive and CS. Where has Clearlove been? His gank priority, his pathing has been incredibly subpar, and he's just simply getting destroyed by Bengi. And Bengi's not even making the initiative. He's just simply reacting to where he sees Clearlove. He's okay, you're right side, I go left side. I kill someone, you don't, because SKT has better vision, better communication, and they play passive at the right times.
Mako hit by a bind here as well as Deft goes once again aggressive, but that's a lot of extra damage out from Bang there.
He's got a Vamp Scepter. Should be okay for the Kalista here, but we saw the same thing last game, actually. EDG were slightly winning their bottom lane by a few CS. They even killed a turret one time, but they're not getting anything else done on the map. Meanwhile, Marin is just crushing Amazing J.
Oh, Pawn. Clearlove both in position here as Bengi's trying to take down this pink ward. Oh, Golkar dodged there by the repel as the flash is used from Bengi to get him out of trouble.
Still the correct play. You can't open up with Body Slam Flash because if that gets repelled, you lose a Summoner, so it's Gold Card for Summoner, which is worth. And again, this is the pink wards that EDG used to come back into the game. They really like Vision Denial, trying to make picks that way. But Pawn is already level 8, approaching 9. And he needs to start teleporting around the map. TF is picked for his global ultimate because if you look at Faker, he's comfortably farming away, has 2 mana items already completed. That is no combat stats, but that's going to build and build up over time into incredibly high damage potential. Whereas Pawn, he's in his peak kind of right now. Between like 11 and 16, that's where he wants to teleport and influence other lanes with that TF.
The weird thing is,
pink wards here in the river still.
So Deft actually, this tournament so far, has bought 14 pink wards as an AD carry. No less than 4 pink wards a game. As high as 6 actually, based on when he's been in. So pink ward's definitely the big star of the show here for Edward Gaming. The problem is though, you talk about Pawn and his power spike right now. He went for a catalyst. He's like, doesn't even have that much power, but this hook is pretty good on a Wolf.
Yeah, the box goes down as well. Wolf actually flashing out of the way. Nice damage here from Deft and Mako as Mako's still trying to get in. The Destiny comes down. Pawn does have the flash. There's the gold card. Deft picks up the kill. The Mako teleports in. Marin's here as well. The one singular teleport from Amazing J is going to be cancelled as EDG. Apprehend from Marin as he may clear this one up. Bengi picks up the kill on Clearlove, but it's a 1-for-1 in the end.
Hey, look at Amazing J. He knew exactly that he had to cancel his teleport right there because the counter to 1 global is obviously double teleport. Luckily for Pawn, TF ultimate is shorter cooldown than a teleport, so we have to see if he can make the next one work. This was an expected play, but EDG had to go for it.
I think it's actually a bit of a blessing just because it gives 2 to 3 ways for Amazing J to catch up a little bit in that top lane while otherwise trading 1-for-1.
Yeah, Amazing J was 1.5k gold behind at 10 minutes. This is the largest gold disparity we've seen at 10 minutes, including the Bangkok Titans games. Let's see that gank again here. Wolf gets hooked initially.
Flash is late too. He actually hits the box wall. That slow was a really big deal because otherwise he would have been out of range of this Pawn gold card, and they just layer the abilities just in time. Ren barely in range as well.
And if it weren't for Fate's Call, Mako would have dropped here too. You see here exactly what we talked about earlier, teleport cancel, because if Gnar goes in here, he will just bait his teammates into a fight they can't win. Good peeling, gold card there from Pawn. They only lose 1, so overall for 2 teleports, going 1-for-1 is a good trade for EDG.
Yeah, it was also a decent explosive cast there from Clearlove as well to get Faker out of that fight. Still had to walk up, try and get any rune prisons down. On some damage there as Faker just blows the ult and runs at him.
Yeah.
That'll do.
He was doing that last week as well in the Echo matchup. But first of all, Mako in a bad spot. Deft does have ulti, but maybe a bit of afraid Bang. Mako is not going to get any help at all. It's going to be a dead thresh.
Yeah, Doomba stomped.
Oh, I take that back. Fate's Call was down. I take that back. So Deft was unable to help him.
Yep. That's honestly a mistake from Mako. With such a short cooldown on Fate's Call, you can't afford to move into that rush with no vision. Just wait for the safety. If you waited 10, 20 seconds longer, Fate's Call comes up and suddenly you can make uncounterable plays almost.
Well, Deft takes away the Grump, but the blue buff is going to be stolen. Faker actually picks that one up. Blue available for SKT, but they're just going to go for this Dragon here as well. The first one, 13 minutes and 20 seconds into the game, and this will be unanswered by EDG.
And not a chance. The lead is way too big right now. Bengi has cracked this map open so heavily. Even though he's ganked top lane twice already, he spent so much time up on that side of the map. They're still winning the bottom side of the map too, even when Clearlove level 2 gank down there.
And Bang and Wolf have done a fantastic job just playing passive where they need to, but not to the point where they would just lose the lane. outrageously hard way. Whenever EDG step forward to trade and get a beneficial trade, and they stepped a little bit too far into minions, that's when you can always see Bang get in one extra auto attack, because he knows if Def tries to trade one auto more, you're fighting with minions. So both these teams are really, you can tell that they're fantastic players because they incorporate minion damage in their trades.
Yeah, definitely just really excellent play there. You can see Mako's ability to sort of play over-aggressive is hampered by the fact that Black Shield and Dark Binding stuff that so very frequently. So a lot of credit to Wolf for how he's playing the lane as well, preventing a lot of the extra advantage that would have been gained. I mean, a Flash Morgana should have been easier to kill, but now Amazing J once again in a battle.
Yeah,
goes
he's
to lock
actually
up the
looking
stuns.
for it here. The
coming.
Destiny comes in as the gold card lands onto Marin, and he's going to fall down. After a little bit, the boulder's going to come in.
That was beautiful. They dodged the healing from Q. Amazing J walked in, Pawn walked out, and there's no answer because those TPs are longer cooldowns.
And this is what we were looking for earlier. Pawn has to make those Destinies work, and we can see it. Both teleports are still on cooldown right now, so you definitely want to get 2 Destinies for every single teleport spell right now. Amazing J getting aggressed on by Bengi. He should be fine. Make his way out. The wave will reset too, so overall, EDG clawing back into the game with the globals, but teleports are about to come up again, and that could swing in favor of SKT again.
And Bengi bought a Sight Stone and is ahead of Amazing J right now. If you just like to track that money, he's still got more than this poor Gnar top lane right now. Mid lane turret also goes down. The flash engage from Faker.
Yeah, there's the Rune Prison in there. All of the spells, all of the time. Faker, the 1v1 against Pawn.
And that's with Rod of Ages and Tears still stacking up.
And we talked about this matchup earlier. We said Ryze can't touch TF because he will get gold carded every time he aggresses. Well, Faker flashed the instant that Pawn launched his blue card at the minions to get mana. So that card, pick a card, was on cooldown for the entirety of that exchange. And Faker doesn't need much time to kill you if he can gap close. Pawn's flash wasn't available right there, so really smart move by Faker. Card goes down, flash in, kill.
And look at this move by Bengi, already showing up where he needs to be. Very smart. It's reactive, but it's instantaneously reactive. Mid laner's dead, let's knock a turret down. Clear left shows bottom, let's gank top lane. Bengi is on point this game.
Well, Def may find Wolf here just a little bit, but they want to take down this pink ward as the priority. Bang gonna head back to base here and pick up some items. Avarice Blade pickaxe, not quite enough at this point as Marin. He's gonna take down the outer turret in the top lane, and they're just falling thick and fast now.
Yeah, we questioned the Gragas pick earlier. It brings early ganking potential, well-scaling tank, but you have to use your potential, right? You can't just sit on it forever and just let it go to waste. Clear off. Very poor pathing and prioritization of ganking lanes, honestly. He should have been top to help Amazing J, and that's what got them through regionals too. When they made that climb again after the initial slump in EDG, it was Amazing J's aggressive play combined with Clearloff helping him control the top side of the map, while Deft and Mako played passive on the bottom. That was their bread and butter. That's how they started winning these games. But complete reversion here from that play here from Clearloff, and Bengi, such a smart player overall, punishing every single mistake.
I just want to go back to Marin here as well. Almost 50 CS in the lead on this Darius, despite the fact that he did get ganked there in the top lane. It does have the Black Cleaver completed. Looks like Steric's Gauge might be coming in as his next choice as Wolf, just trying to get some deep vision down as Clearlove's going to notice that ward. But once again, Clearlove getting spotted in the jungle.
And look what SKT is doing. They know, EDG know, but there's nothing they can do. They set up so many plays that are almost uncounterable. Right now, Faker's moving down, so he will match Pawn anyways if he teleports. And they simply want to pressure you off the tower. They don't want you to defend and dive you, because that could go wrong. They simply want to show you, hey guys, we're here with this many people. It could be wise for you guys to back off.
Oh, the Stomach Destiny comes in. Faker, he's going to get stunned up. Teleports from both top laners coming in as well. Fate's call's already down. The box in a fantastic position. EDG losing so much health though. The dunk from Marin. Deft still alive at the moment as Amazing J with a big Gnar.
Oh, the heal!
That was insane. Double kill now for this top laner. Pawn gets dunked at the same time, and Bang's just hopping everywhere.
Absolutely amazing fight. SK Telecom T1 with the ace for only 2 kills.
And it looked grim at the start. And actually, this was probably the best way it could go for EDG. Faker oversteps his boundaries, but instantaneously, Marin TP's down. And they don't even need Faker to win that fight. All he needed to do was soak some damage. So much damage came out of Marin there.
And so much healing
at
as well.
the end as well. It's so hard to judge that Darius pick. You really need to finish him off. It's similar to a Tom Kench. You can't just let him live at all. Kill him immediately, or they will just keep in that fight. Let's watch that again.
There's a really good Black Shield as well that helps keep Faker from getting bursted out entirely. So, okay, Hook goes down. It's a longer cooldown because it missed it, but there's the gold card, there's everything else. And then this Black Shield's going to be really big because now Gragas can't knock him in or anything. And a great pull to set up the rest of the damage, and it takes so much effort to kill him. And now Marin's got the pass because he's got the execute. So he 5 stacks anyone he hits, stun lands, and watch this Q. He flashes to line it up, and I believe he even hits 2 champions. He nicks Pawn as well as the hit on the deft, and that means he doesn't die nearly fast enough.
Yeah, more importantly, Bang went untouched that fight. He finishes the fight on 60% HP, 40% right now, but almost no mana because he was jumping around all the time in that fight.
When you have 3 really big threats, they had to burst Faker, then they realized that Marin would drain tank them, plus had the Noxskin Might on already, so what are you going to do except ignore the Tristana?
And this is another point where you just tunnel so hard onto Faker when you're up against SKT, because Def used his rend incredibly early just to slow Faker down, and then couldn't kill Marin in that team fight. He just couldn't get the damage across.
And this is a stylistic mismatch between these two compositions that we touched on earlier in Champ Select. EDG, they want to make picks, they want to pour in and punish you from being in a bad position, but once all 5 members are combined, SKT win the team fight. They have a favorable teamfight composition, especially in the early to mid game, where Elise doesn't fall off at all. Her damage, her base damage is very, very much so relevant still, and they just have too many threats to deal with. EDG, Tunnel Vision on Faker, well, there's 4 other SKT members ready to kill you.
And the thing is, Faker's ready to answer whatever EDG does as well. After he finished the Rod Evasion in the tier, he grabs upgraded boots and gets Distortion enchant. So his Summoner Teleport is on a much, much lower cooldown. It's sitting at 223 seconds. It's under 4 minutes now, and that's if he goes to a ward. It's even shorter when he goes for things like turrets.
Yeah, to compare that to Destiny, Destiny right now is at 114 seconds, so for every 1 teleport, roughly give or take, there are 2 Destinies available, but that means Pawn has to be able to use them on cooldown. And SKT's River Vision has been really great so far, so they usually have a good idea of where Pawn is moving, and then they play accordingly on the lanes. It's been incredibly rough for Pawn to really find an opening where you can find a pick 2v1. The only one really happening there was that gank on Mar in the top lane. And he doesn't care because he's still so far ahead.
Yeah, just actually finishes the Sterix gauge from a longsword, I believe.
It's interesting as well, if you watch SKT's warding pattern, it's been all bottom lane for the last like 10 minutes straight. They're okay with Mars sitting on an island up there and slowly winning his matchup against Amazing J. They're making sure this bot lane is still going according to plan.
I mean, look at Amazing J. Every single Gnar we've seen so far, the debate was, does he go Black Cleaver or Frozen Mallet?
Yeah.
To beat up on the Darius. Well, Amazing J says, I can't even win 1v1 anymore, even with superior items, so I have to spec into teamfight Gnar with a Sunfire Cape. That means EDG is stepping away from their win conditions, which is the 1-3-1, which are destroyed by now by SKT, just like Mako's about to get destroyed if it weren't for Fate's Call.
Will they go in, though? Marin's in front. Oh, no! Mako chose to go in. That's cast by the support. He dies for free. Marin in a 1v2 gets the double heal, though. Def's life is not good. Dunk comes through. One more hit will kill him. He'll bleed to death for sure. Faker kills off Clear Love. Def's Summoner Heal keeps him alive, but that was silly.
Yeah, I think silly is basically the only word for that. I mean, I don't know why the Fate's Call was used to re-engage, but the Black Shield was fantastic. There wasn't even a knockup from that.
Yeah, Panic play overall just didn't really use their vision. If you're fighting into dark, you have to make a guesstimate. Are they there? Then they die. If they're not there,
it's easy.
Yep.
Press R.
Can't really excuse that play from Mako overall. I think EDG are grasping at straws right now. It even shows in their item build. They're made for 1-3-1. They're starting to build for teamfight. They will lose the teamfight regardless of what this Gnar builds. So overall, Amazing J trailing behind. Again, Cocoon hits. Mako should know that he has to get the hell out of dodge.
Well, he does. He's out.
Yeah, he's out.
But he gets back into dodge.
And then Def walks backwards and forwards, then suddenly, like, the thing is, TF could have ulted well before the Fate's Call was actually used. You saw it pop up after he engages. This could have been an easy check for EDG to know what's going on. Communication breaking down here. It's just easy for SKT now.
On actually up against Wolf here, who flashes on top of him.
Still stunned.
That is the ballsy play. The Ignite goes down, Black Shield there, and Bang's gonna secure it. Faker teleporting in just to say hi to Pawn's corpse.
I don't know, Pawns could walk backwards. You see what happens though, breaks the rules, still dies anyway.
Yeah.
Oh man, SKT kings in this game. They're gonna move into the base right now. Faker flashes in for Mako.
Fantastic exhaust is gonna be used though as Bengi. He comes down, but Amazing J finds his way underneath the turret, but that's so much damage. This Bang's gonna lock it down, and this is gonna be the base broken for EDG.
SKT support beating on EDG's mid laner. SKT's mid laner beating on EDG support. Everybody beating each other here, but EDG are the losing team every single trade here. Really good aggressive moves here overall from SKT T1. They know exactly when they can win a trade with an aggressive flash, using that to their advantage. And they may actually close here already at before 24 minutes.
Wow.
Burned up minions. going to make it happen. Marin still looking to try and get something done, but Clearlove and Pawn, they're just sitting on the fountain, watching their Nexus get destroyed. The 2-0 against EDG here for SKT.
And in a
as the
battle,
Nexus is down.
And in a battle that many people thought was a preview of the finals, SK Telecom T1 win in under 24 minutes. They make it look easy. Losing matchups, no problem. Winning matchups, destroy you.
I would have loved to see this game play out without the level 2 gank from Clearlove. It was a move. Usually you want to go for moves that are medium risk, high reward. So if it backfires, you know, you're a little bit behind, but if it works, you get fundamentally far ahead, even if that gank worked. The cross-map potential from Bengi ganking top lane was just better. There was a better play for Bengi on the map, facilitated by Clearlove. So overall, that is a big oversight from EDG, and I think that is already the breaking point of this game.
And even though you say I want to see the game without that happening, I'm going to saw the game with that happening because Bengi to me is so good right now. Back in spring, SKT got a new jungler as maybe a replacement. They had Tom in the lineup playing many of the matches because Bengi wasn't up to snuff. But ever since the midseason invitational, Bengi has gotten better and better and better. And I think he was the reason they won this game. He carried their early game, got those lanes where they needed to be. And Bengi's a pleasure to watch right now. No one was considering him in that top echelon of junglers coming here. It was. You got guys like Cacao, guys like Clearlove. Well, now you better say guys like Bengi because right now he's making very good choices.
He did get some praise, but he wasn't rated as highly as he is performing right now. Bengi overall, impeccable game. And just the communication. I like that SKT, they come into the game every time with a clear identity in their composition. They play to their strengths. They identify also the strong members on opposing teams and then just dismantle them. So not only do they read their strengths well, they read their opponent's strengths well, and then they dance around those beautifully, whether it's in picks and bans with the Renekton counter pick, whether it's in the game with gank prioritization. So impeccable gameplay so far from SKT.
Yeah, and it was great play from Bengi there as well, but he was picking on Amazing J there in the top lane, who just did not look comfortable in this Gnar pick. It just didn't work. I mean, picking the Gnar, seeing the fact that, okay, it has worked against Darius in the past, it just doesn't work if you don't know how to play out the matchup.
I mean, it was a really big misplay. This is the funny thing is Amazing J played it more or less correctly last week where he realized, okay, Clearlove is on the other side of the jungle, visible by wards, and I can't see Bengi. And Amazing J played super far back because he didn't want to feed. Here in this game, he has no idea where Bengi is. He knows Clearlove revealed himself on the bottom side and goes, I'm going to trade with you when you have a bigger minion wave, and I'm going to miss my Gnar W.
Yep.
And then gets chunked to about 2/3. Surprise, Bengi shows up, and like Amazing J forgot he's supposed to play much farther back.
Yeah, as we can see, Shock's prepping for the interview. We just talk about that matchup more. Just so fascinating. He played it right if he had the illusion of jungle pressure, but he didn't. And then you have to be flexible in that regard. Because playing it the way he did, which is letting himself get pushed in early, taking unfavorable trades, but then having Clearlove would show up in the top lane. Clearlove starts bottom right side, so then he goes top left side for the gank. That's generally what you want as a top laner. You pull the wave back. That guy has no gap closer. Even if you don't kill him, he gets zoned off to creeps. You deny experience. You deny CS. That's the way you tilt that matchup in your favor. If your jungler then doesn't show up, well, you just set up the perfect dive for your opponent. Bengi says, thank you very much. I'll push in here. I'll dive. And game over.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to talk about as well is this mid lane matchup. The fact that it took Pawn so long to use that Destiny to try and get around the map. Should have been as soon as he hit level 6, go to top lane, help Amazing J. This guy's getting stomped. You got to find a way to get this guy back into the game.
And the problem was he was out-leveled, right? This is like, do you want to gank a level 6 Darius with a level 5 Gnar who can't ult anyone? It's going to make it difficult. Either way, guys, we're done for now. But for an inside look at SKT's win, going to check in with Shocks and Marin over the interview lounge.
Thank you very much, guys. Indeed, top laner Marin and Homan to assist in a translation after another very convincing victory of SKT, who are now 4-0 in the group. And Marin, you did a lot of dunking on Darius, and we've seen a couple of times in the World Championship that the Gnar was actually a good matchup into Darius. What do you think happened that made it go completely out of control and very good for you?
마린 선수 일단 4승 0패로 연승 가돌랑 축하드리고요. 그리고 지금 2전판에서 다리우스로 이제 찍어 누른다고 하죠. 덩크하는 모습을 많이 보여줬었는데 보통 다리우스 때 나르 하면 나르가 좀 더 좋은 상성이 있다고 얘기하는데 이번 경기에 어떻게 하다 그렇게 좀 유리한 경기를 풀어나가는지 말씀해 주세요.
네. 일단 나르랑 다리우스가 그렇게 어느 한쪽이 유리하거나 하진 않는데 그게 이제 정글러 선수가 이제 클리어러브 선수가 바텀에서 시야를 보여주고 이제 저희 정글러 선수가 탑에 와가지고 다이브를 했기 때문에 거기서부터 아마 스노볼이 계속 굴러가서 일방적인 매치업이 나왔던 것 같아요.
I don't think the two champions have both champions are in pretty equal hand, but then it's about which jungler intervenes first. So for this game, we saw that clear love around bottom vision. So I Bengi gang top, and after that dive was successful, it was easy for me to snowball from that point.
Yeah, you did definitely snowball, but not to take anything away from your individual performance, because we saw some fantastic games from you. Also, the Renekton game last week. What is it like to be on a team like SKT, where everyone is always looking at Faker as the big carry, but it seems that you are more taking that role now? What do you plan to show further in the World Championship?
비록 지난 경기에서는 정글 도움을 이겼다고 하지만 마린 선수는 이번 대회에서 뭐 레넥턴 경기도 그렇고 되게 매우 인상적인 경기를 보여주고 있습니다. 사실 SKT 하면 다들 이제 페이커 선수나 그 팀 자체를 많이 칭찬하는데 이번 대회에서는 마린 선수가 되게 팀의 으뜸 캐리로서 역할을 하고 있는데 이것에 대해서 어떻게 생각하시나요?
일단 그런 상황이 나와서 캐리를 하게 됐는데 일단 페이커 선수도 그렇고 저도 그렇고 캐리력은 있는 선수기 때문에 그럴 수 있었다고 생각하고 앞으로도 그런 경기를 계속 이어갈 수 있었으면 좋겠네요.
I think Faker and I both have very high potential to carry the game, and I just hope that we can continue this kind of games where I can carry or Faker.
One of the two carries, and it would be pretty good. You guys in 4-0 already. The fact that you beat EDG twice so convincingly, and they were your only opposition just a couple of months ago. What does this mean for you guys in light of how strong SKT is in the World Championship, and who might stand in your way on the road to the Summers Cup?
이제 지금 몇 달 전까지만 하더라도 이제 SKT의 가장 큰 적수인 EDG 팀을 조별 예선 때 2대0 꺾음으로써 이제 남은 대회 기간 동안 이제 SKT의 가장 큰 걸림돌이 되거나 우승하기까지 어떠한 난관이 남았다고 생각되는지 마린 선수의 생각을 말씀해 주세요.
일단 지금 모든 팀들이 상향 평준화돼서 다 잘한다고 생각해서 일단 8강도 그렇고 4강도 그렇고 다 위험한 상대들이 올라올 것 같아서 네, 다들 위험하다고 생각해요.
I think every region have improved a lot for this tournament, and any team that advanced from quarterfinals, semifinals can be a big threat to us. So I think it's too early to say that the tournament is ours at this point.
All right, well, you're 4-0, at least in the groups already, and advancing. Congratulations, thank you so much. Marin, 4-0 already, SKT. And not too confident, but I think they're off to a great start. Take it away.
Thank you, Shocks. Another very convincing win there by SKT, starting off 4-0. You know, and up against a team that we thought would be a front runner in this tournament and would put up a good fight. But this is